Hey everyone, diving in today with a look at Phuket. Specifically for those of you eyeing villas around Bangtao and Surin. Gorgeous spots. But let's be real, beachfront bliss gets a tad trickier when you're also figuring out schools.
It's a top priority for families relocating. Education shapes the entire experience.
No kidding. Luckily, we've got intel from Ocean Worldwide, a Phuket real estate agency known for, shall we say, taste for the finer things. They've got this article about choosing schools, focusing on northern Phuket, their take. Tranquility, top-tier amenities, A&D, those beaches, they're not wrong.
It's strategic, too.
Yeah.
The article hones in on three international schools near Bangtao and Surin, British School of Phuket, United World College Thailand, UWC, and Head Start International School. Each one's got its own vibe, which we'll get into.
See, this is what I love options. But before we go full-on school comparison, did the article mention any common ground between them? You know, those baseline things that make them all strong contenders?
Absolutely. First off, they're all internationally recognized, so no worries about your kids' education holding them back on the global stage. College applications, job opportunities, you name it. That box is ticked.
Music to any parent's ears. What else?
They've all got super diverse student bodies. We're not talking token diversity here. These are genuinely international environments where kids learn from each other's cultures firsthand. Imagine your child's best friend might be from a completely different corner of the world. That's invaluable.
It's like a microcosm of the world right there in the classroom. Okay, so we've got a solid academic foundation and a global outlook. What about activities and stuff?
They've got it all. Sports, arts, music, clubs, for every interest. They understand that learning isn't confined to textbooks. These schools want kids to explore their passions and develop well-rounded personalities.
Got it. So whether it's acing exams or pursuing a passion, they've got those bases covered.
Exactly. And here's the clincher. All three schools are big on holistic development. It's not just about grades. They're invested in nurturing the whole child. Emotionally, socially, the works.
That's huge. So even before we dig into the specifics, it sounds like any of these schools would provide a well-rounded education.
Precisely.
Okay, that's reassuring. Now let's ditch the similarities for a sec and get to the exciting part, what makes each school unique. The article smartly breaks it down into three areas: curriculum focus, location, and educational philosophy. Starting with the curriculum, what stood out to you?
Well, the British School of Phuket, as the name suggests, follows a traditional British curriculum. It's known for being academically rigorous and a great pathway if you're thinking UK universities.
Right, classic British education, got it. But is it all Shakespeare and strict timetables, or is there some wiggle room within that system?
Actually, they offer A-levels, which allows students to specialize in a few subjects that truly interest them. So while the foundation is broad, they can really hone in on their passions later on.
Okay, so it's not just about being a jack of all trades, but mastering the ones that light you up. Makes sense. Now, UWC, I've heard whispers that it's a whole different ballgame. What's their deal?
They use the International Baccalaureate program, which is fairly common. But their unique twist is weaving sustainability and peace education into every subject.
Wait, seriously, like it's not just a separate class, it's woven into how they teach math, history, everything. Give me an example. How does that even work?
Imagine your child learning history through the lens of environmental justice, understanding how past actions impact our present. It's about empowering them to be global citizens. They're part of this global network of United World Colleges, and their mission is literally to use education as a force for peace and a more sustainable future.
Wow, that's not just a school, it's a whole movement. Okay, file that under schools changing the world.
Yeah,
Now, let's talk Head Start. They sound very 21st century just from the name.
they are. Head Start's got this really cool blended curriculum mixing elements of the British system with a more internationally recognized framework. But their real differentiator is how they're integrating technology into learning. We're talking interactive software, virtual field trips, the works.
Okay, tech in the classroom can be a bit of a hot button issue. Some parents love it, some are wary. How's Head Start approaching it?
Think of it less about kids glued to screens and more about using tech as a tool. They're prepping students for a future where digital literacy is non-negotiable and doing it in a way that's engaging and encourages deeper learning.
So it's not about creating tech whizzes, it's about equipping them for a tech-driven world.
Exactly. They're all about creating a dynamic environment where tech enhances the learning experience, not overpowers it.
I can dig it. Okay, we've got our three contenders, each with a very different curriculum flavor. But before we get lost in the world of IB versus A levels, let's talk practicality. Location, location, location. The article mentioned this is key, especially for families considering Bangtao and Surin. What did they say about each school's accessibility?
Right. So the British school, while fantastic, is actually the furthest away from Bangtao and Surin. It's down south, which means potentially longer commutes,
Yeah.
especially factoring in traffic.
Yeah, gotta love a bit of Phuket traffic during rush hour. So British school furthest. What about UWC and Head Start?
Both of those are more centrally located, making them generally more accessible for families all over the island, Bangtao and Surin included.
Okay, so we've got a handle on the curriculum and location logistics. Now, for the heart of the matter, educational philosophy. This is where it gets really interesting because it's about the school's overall vibe, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's about understanding the values driving their approach beyond just what's taught in the classroom.
Right. So let's start with the British school again. We know it's got that traditional British curriculum, but what about the bigger picture? What kind of environment are they fostering?
They're very big on those classic educational values. Academic excellence is a given, but they also emphasize things like discipline, personal responsibility, and developing well-rounded individual.
So it's about equipping students for success beyond just exams, preparing them for life, essentially.
Exactly. They want their students to graduate not only with knowledge, but also with the character and skills to navigate the world successfully.
I like that. Okay, now on to UWC, which we've already established is anything but traditional. They're all about sustainability and peace education. How does that translate into their everyday approach?
At UWC, global citizenship isn't just some trendy term they throw around. It's woven into the very fabric of the school. They challenge students to think critically about the world, to engage with different perspectives, and to consider their role in creating positive change.
So it's about empowering students to be active, engaged citizens, not just passive observers.
Exactly. It's about equipping them with the tools and knowledge to go out and make a difference.
That's powerful stuff. Okay, last but not least, Head Start. We know they're tech-focused, but what's the driving force behind their educational approach?
Head Start is all about progressive education. They're constantly evolving their methods, trying new things, and embracing innovation. They want to make learning relevant to the modern world and keep their students ahead of the curve.
So they're not afraid to shake things up and push boundaries. It's about adapting to the time.
Precisely. They're all about a growth mindset, both for their students and for the school itself.
I love that. Okay, so we have three schools, each with a distinct educational personality. Talk about a tough choice for families. Thankfully, the Ocean Worldwide article offers some solid advice for navigating this decision.
They stress the importance of finding the right fit for your child and family. One size doesn't fit all when it comes to education.
Right, so what specific advice did they offer?
They encourage parents to consider their child's individual needs and interests. Some kids thrive in a structured, traditional environment, while others need more flexibility. It's about finding a school that complements your child's learning style and personality.
That makes a lot of sense. A child's love for learning can really blossom when they're in the right environment. What else?
They also highlight the importance of really understanding the curriculum and teaching styles of each school. Does your child learn best through hands-on experiences or more traditional methods? Finding that alignment is key.
It's like finding the missing piece of the puzzle. What about the school's reputation and accreditations? How important are those factors?
Those are definitely things to consider. The article suggests researching the school's accreditations, which speaks to the quality of education. Word of mouth is also powerful. Talking to other parents who have children at the school can provide invaluable insights.
Absolutely. And I imagine visiting the schools, experiencing the atmosphere firsthand would be crucial. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've looked at the curriculum, the location, and the overall philosophy of these three incredible schools. But I want to circle back to something the article mentioned at the very beginning, something that really resonated with me. Ocean Worldwide specializes in luxury properties, right? They're not just about finding you a house, they're about finding you a lifestyle. So I'm curious, how do you see this careful consideration of school choice playing into the broader experience of living that luxury lifestyle in Phuket? Because it's not just about the villa, is it?
It's about the bigger picture. Choosing the right school is about finding a community that aligns with your family's values, a place where your children can thrive both inside and outside of the classroom.
It's about creating an environment where your family can truly flourish. It's about finding that sweet spot where your family's lifestyle and your children's education seamlessly intertwine.
Precisely. And that's where Ocean Worldwide's expertise comes in. They understand that luxury living goes beyond the property itself. It's about finding a community and an environment that truly align with your family's vision.
So it's about more than just choosing a school, it's about choosing a lifestyle. And they
Yeah.
see that connection, which is so cool.
Yes. And they're equipped to guide families through that process. They can connect you with resources, provide insights based on their local knowledge, and ultimately help you make a decision that feels right for everyone.
Okay, so much to think about, but I think we've given our listeners a solid foundation to build upon. As we wrap up this deep dive into Phuket schools, what final thought do you want to leave with our listeners? What's the one thing you hope they take away from this conversation?
I think the most important thing is to trust your instincts, do your research, explore the options, but ultimately, you know your child best. You know what kind of environment will allow them to thrive.
I love that. Trust your gut. You got
Yeah.
this.
Absolutely. This is an exciting time. Choosing a school is a big decision, but it's also a chance to shape a truly incredible experience for your family in a beautiful part of the world.
Beautifully said. So there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the world of Phuket's international schools, from traditional British rigor to globally minded changemakers to tech-savvy innovators. Hopefully you're feeling informed, inspired, and maybe even a little bit more confident about navigating this big decision. Remember, it's not just about the school. It's about finding the perfect fit for your family's unique adventure in paradise. Until next time, happy exploring.